getting back. Okay, that was technology. That was the part of the human experience in life today. So I'm honored to introduce my newer friend, my virtual friend, Noel Strain, who I met. We've each been a speaker at Lauren's Summit. And when I listened to Noel speak, I was standing up. This is also partly why I just raised my desk to standing because Noel speaking makes me want to jump up and down and smile. He is here on this planet to inspire and impact lives. And Noel, I so appreciate you coming in and saying a full body yes to this experience of continuing to elevate ourselves and each other so we continue to put that out into the greater collective. And Noel and I have a lot in common. We're both from the Bay Area. We're both injured athletes. I'm a dancer. Um, Noel was an athlete, and his growth and evolution and story is incredible. But I'm not going to say too much more because you won't need me to. Noel will just uplift the whole experience. So thank you so much for joining us, Noel.
Happy to be here with all of you beautiful humans. Thank you for the introduction. And no, it's you guys are going to get some energy right now from. I just did I rescheduled a podcast that I had at this time, and I did earlier with an Akashic record reader out in the hills out in Spain, and the energy that she came with was fun. So it's just like I just got out of like a warm bath, like sauna. So I'm gonna bring all that energy with you guys and flow some awesome energy with you as well. So hello to you all, wherever you are on the planet. Appreciate being able to share this time with you. And so I have on my clock is 1:03 where I am in Miami. What time do you want me to go to? I'm gonna be mindful of the time. You want me to stop at 1:30, or do you going to give me to 1:33? I can't hear you, but you're muted. But just tell me when to stop. I'll stop at around 1:30.
We'll go 30 minutes.
Well, this will be fun. So I had inspiration right before I came on as far as the direction I want this 30 minutes to go. And when I spoke at Lauren's event, you guys just got like a machine gunning of just as much as I could flow out. And I'm going to give you guys a lot today as well. But I have a more focused direction that I want to take this conversation in, just where we are in humanity. And I'm very excited for what's evolving right now for everybody. And maybe that's not the wording that you would use if you're paying close attention to things that are going on in the world right now. Maybe excited wouldn't be the word that you would use. That's my word choice because I know that everything that we see in life that is physically manifested already, that's already here. You guys let me know if you've met someone ever. I haven't yet that can take someone that's already physically manifested and like unmanifested, like take the energy away from it. Like I've never met a human that can do that. And so that only leaves us two options. One option is to focus all of our attention on the what's wrong and the tragedies and all of these things and stay there and have that be our frequency and embody that frequency because that's all we can see that's physically manifest, realizing that anything that we already see, the energy to create that manifestation, whether it be something in the collective, whether it be something in our health, whether it be something in our relationships or finances or any area of life, the energy's already been put into that in order for it to even be physically manifest now. And so we can continue to like look at that and continue to embody that and be a frequency match to that and create more of that. Or the other option that we have that I highly encourage and I'm doing myself and being the example of, and we can all be the light for everybody in humanity to see, which starts a ripple effect in and of itself, is decide what it is that we'd like to see and then flow that out into the collective, flow that out into our personal lives, embody that now, and then have synchronicities and ideas of how it can happen, when it can happen, who's going to be involved, and what we want to see in this beautiful planet that we live on. That's how I'm choosing right now to live and to embody. And I invite everybody to also choose that. And so it kind of starts with asking the question then of what would we like to see in humanity? Like, what would we like to experience? Like, where do we want to go? What direction do we want to go? And for me, it's really simple. I want to live on a planet where everybody is waking up in the morning and only asking themselves two questions. Like, what sounds most fun and what sounds most fulfilling? Like, what else do we really want to ask ourselves? Like, what lights me up and what feels really good to do? Like, what do I want to create here in this life? And what pauses a lot of people from asking that question is, first and foremost, because I really see there as being two things, really, in simplicity, that we need to need. I always hesitate in saying need because we really have everything that we need now. Like we're alive, we're breathing, and even we're no longer in these physical avatars, like our energy will still live on. We're eternal. That's a different conversation. I'm not going to go that direction just right now. You guys that have heard me speak before know I can go off in many different directions, and not promising that I won't do that here, but I'm not going there right now. But my point is, for all of us, and I almost forgot my point now. This is why I don't do that, because I have to bring myself back to center and share exactly what I want to share. Hello, Bethany, joining us, taking the mic. Bethany, mute yourself so that we can, so that it doesn't, wherever you are, whoever's the host, mute anyone that's unmuted, so that I don't get too scatterbrained and forget what direction I'm going. This is so much fun. So my point is, and my brain is totally lost. Whenever I lose my train of thought, I just stay in the frequency of wherever the thought came from, and then it pops back in. So just a great side note for anybody that ever is like, oh crap, I forgot what I was going to say. I don't do that to myself, because I know that I was saying the things from a fun, playful energy, and that the thoughts will come back to being a fun, playful energy, and it just popped back in just from playing with you guys. So I see there being only two things that we really need to have. That's what made me stop when I said the need, because it's hard for me to say that. There's two things that I want for every human being out there in order for us to live the humanity that I would like to be a part of, where people are doing what sounds most fun, most fulfilling, and they're creating things that they want to see in the world. And for everybody out there, because there's 7.7 billion of us, there's different things that we want to see on this planet that is unique to your life experience. So maybe it's evolution in the environment, maybe it's equality, maybe it's education, maybe it's awareness and consciousness, or whatever it is. Like, we're all on our individual journeys, and at the same time, it's great to be reminded and to know that we're all just different expressions of the same stuff, the same non-physical energy. And if you want to know what that non-physical energy is, we have different labels for it out there. Maybe you might call that, God force energy. Maybe you might call that divine energy. Maybe you might call that love. Maybe you might call that source energy. Maybe you might call that spirit, or whatever, nature, whatever it is that you want to call that. It's great to know that that's who all of us truly are. That's what's flowing through these physical avatars that we see. And so I find it kind of comical in a way that as human beings, we have this illusion that we're separate. Not all of us, but at some point in our lives, we all came here as little unconditional, loving little babies. And when, we started to age a little bit and start comparing ourselves to the other kids and wondering why they're taller than us, or why they're prettier than us, or why they're more athletic than us, or whatever the case may be, we started questioning, some of us, not all of us, but a lot of us started questioning, are we worthy? Are we enough? And I find it comical, because that'd be like the waves of the ocean out there saying, I don't like this wave because it's bluer than me, or it's warmer than me, or it's a bigger wave than me, or because it's situated over in Hawaii and I'm just over here in, Miami. I don't like that wave. That's really the comicalness that I get of seeing human beings pointing at each other, thinking that you're this, you're this, you're this, blaming each other, condemning each other. That'd be like the ocean arguing with each other, the waves, because that's all that all of us truly are. Is if we look at the ocean as a representative, I'm here in Miami Beach, the ocean is right there. If we look at the ocean as a representative of all that is, then we're the individual waves. So we're just all different expressions of the ocean of all that is. And without all the waves, you wouldn't have the ocean. If you want to take that a step further, we come here as a little wave onto the sand and have our human experience here in the physical. We mesh with the physical earth, with the sand. And part of that wave stays out in the ocean. So the whole wave, you don't have the whole ocean come on the sand at one time. Just a little part, a little expression. That's you. My little expression of that wave is called Noelle. Yours is called Jessica, Elise, Dr. Lana, Rachel. Those are the people that I can see on the screen. Rochelle, I think I said your name wrong. The people that I can see on the screen right now. And all of us have our own little expressions. And then we'll live our life here on the sand. And then when it's time for us to go back out into all that is, this is why it's beautiful to know that we're eternal, and it gives us a lot of peace. The part that came here on the sand will stay here. It soaks into the ground and it'll stay here. And the rest of us that didn't come on, we're still out there. So we're still out and living this life. And who knows what we'll choose to go do after this. Maybe we'll come back down here and play here on Earth again. Maybe we'll go play in another dimension. All those things are not really for me to know, or it's just not really a concern of mine, because I know I'm alive right now and all of you guys are too. So all that I need to know is if you're alive right now, if we're alive right now, we'll always be living in whatever way, shape, or form, but you'll always be alive. So that's just a great knowing that anybody can give to themselves and to others, to give a lot of peace, to where we're not taking things so serious. Because what are we really taking so serious if we know that we're eternal? So we can go back to now. It's like, oh, what do I like to see in humanity? What humanity do I want to live in? And we all have different versions of that. And again, to me, there's only two things that I want to have for every human being, that I want to have everybody become aware of, that can allow the creation of what I would like to see, which is a humanity of everybody enjoying themselves, creating what they want to create, us enjoying this beautiful planet that we share, being able to travel and see things and create things that right now aren't in physical manifestation, that we physically manifest while we're here. And so the first thing, I've already been describing what it takes, and from my awareness to create this, is just knowing who we all truly are, having that awareness that I just described, as far as being just different expressions of waves in the same ocean of all that is. That there's nobody better or worse, or there's nobody. You can be super confident knowing that you have the same power. If you ever point out something in another human being, like, that human is awesome, like this human is doing like these amazing things, that's just another expression of you. So know that the same power and energy that they use to create that thing, whatever it is, we have that same power. That's us as well. So maybe we may not want to create the same thing that they're creating. However, we're inspired to create things too. And just know that you can take that inspiration and go flow that out into whatever it is that you want to create. And all of us can do that as well. It also can allow us to be super humble, because we're not any different than, we're not made up of all of the same stuff. So for me to say that I'm better than another human being because of any reason, it's just silly. Again, going back to the waves in the same ocean. So I think I've hit on that as much as I want to hit on that, but I guess that can't be hit on more than enough until we have that come on as consciousness, to where it's like, oh, all of us are different waves in the same ocean. So I'll say that and preach that and be an example of that and embody that, as long as I'm breathing here on this planet. And I'm excited that all of you guys, I know a lot of you guys are doing that as well. So that's the ideal way to help somebody in this life, is to be it, to live it, to be an example of it, be the light that you want to see in the world, so that everybody that is watching you, that is observing you, whether on social media or on summits like these or in person or wherever it is, they're reminded of their light. Because by looking at you, by looking at your light, they're saying, oh, that person, they have something. They got something there. Like they had something figured out. Like, so many people have asked me how I've been able to maintain like my vibe and my energy and my excitement and my love for life while all this craziness is going on in the world. And I'm human too. So I haven't met many humans also that can look at something directly, something that's already physically manifest, like maybe like a death that we may have witnessed recently on social media, and that has caused lots of has been like a trigger for lots of things that are now happening in the world when it comes to riots and all these things. I don't know many humans that can look directly at that and like really be there with it and feel like blissful at the same time. Like, I don't demand that of myself. And if you're able to do that, like, I like to say there's no like bonus reward points for looking at something that 100 out of 100 of us would be like, that's really difficult to look at, and still like being like jolly about it. Like, that's just, if you can do it, awesome. That's challenging. And so I like to say there's no like bonus points for like forcing yourself to continue to look at things that are really difficult to see. Once I see what's going on, I got it. I see it. I've experienced it. Like, I'm there with it. I understand what's going on. I feel the pain of the collective, because it's just a reflection of me. It's just another person out there that is having a different expression of all that is that I'm experiencing as well. But I don't stay there. There's nowhere for me to stay there, because immediately it sparks more desire to see what I want to see in the world. And that's where the energy that you guys are feeling from me now comes from, because I've seen what's going on. I see it. I feel it. And now it's like, okay, I'm even more excited to create the world that I want to live in. So first and foremost, the consciousness, like having that. And that's a never ending journey, by the way. Like, I'm so excited for human beings that are open to awareness coming to them from all directions. Because once we like get to that point where we realize that nobody's any better or worse, you could be speaking to someone that wouldn't be considered to be someone that would probably write a book anytime soon. Maybe they might be experiencing homelessness right now or something. I've had experiences where I've spoken to people that I thought I was sharing some things that were valuable for them. And that was my intention. And at the same time, just in conversation, they shared stories and shared things with me that were valuable to me as well, that I was able to go repeat and share the stories that they told me with other people, and started a ripple effect there. So if we can allow ourselves to be open to new awareness and our consciousness being able to expand from any direction at any time, that's an awesome place to be, because now we just give the universe, God, love, all that is, just an open channel to flow just awareness and consciousness to us from any direction at any time when you need it most, to apply it to your journey, to take you down the path that you want to go on here in this human experience. And so that's something that I'm so excited whenever I see a human being that it's obvious that they're open. And if you wouldn't be on this summit if you weren't open to it, because you're on to different speakers and you're just open for whatever is here for you, whatever is meant for you today. And like I commend and I'm super excited for all of you because that's a never ending thing. Like as long as you're here in this human experience, like you'll become aware of new things. None of us will know all the secrets of the universe, not in this one life experience and probably not in any life experience. It's not meant for us to need, we don't need to know all the secrets of the universe. We're aware of what we're aware of right now, and we'll constantly become more aware the longer that we're here through life experience and through synchronicity. And so if we could just trust that and just know that we have everything that we need right here and now to do what we can do with what we have from where we are to create whatever it is that we want to create in this world, we all can do it. And so that's the first thing, is just wanting to do my part in helping people have that light bulb come on. So now they're open to awareness from all of you guys that are already sharing out there different awesome stuff, and everybody else on the planet and anybody else that comes into their path. And then from there, the second element that I always ask the universe, because it's not enough just to have the conscious. Like we live in a physical world, so where we want to touch things and we want to create things and we want to buy things and we want to travel to places and all of these things. So for me, but in addition to the consciousness, because that's going to be foundation. Because how many people do we see out there that seem to have everything on the external, however their internal is just, it's not, I'm not judging them for it, but it's obvious like they're not enjoying life because they haven't figured out that the internal is really what is, if that's the focus, then we can reflect all the things on the external that we'd like to see. And so like it takes that first as far as the consciousness. But then once we have that, it's like, how can we have the abundance? And when I say abundance, it's not just abundance of money. That's a big part of it, because we do live in a physical world where it takes money to buy food and to be able to travel and to be able to live the life experience that you want to live here, but also an abundance of time to where you can ask yourself, again, what sounds most fun and fulfilling. And how many people on the planet right now, and I've been here for sure, and I'm sure all of you guys have at some point, and maybe some of you guys are here right now, but how many people on the planet are spending time every single day doing things that if they had the money that was coming in from that, if that was coming in already without them going to put their time into that, they would not do even a second of those things anymore. They would take all that time from those things and put it completely into whatever it is that their vision is for what they want to see in this life, whether it be spending time with family or traveling or creating like things that they want to see in the world, like all that time. That's the humanity that I want to live in, where people have the light bulb fully on and the abundance of time, money, health, resources, relationships, everything that matters, having more than enough, to where people are spending all their time, not like a couple weeks a year when they have vacation time, not when they get around to it, like when they're not so tired from their job or from their business, to where now they can put a little bit of attention on their vision or what they'd like to see, but all of their time. Like literally you getting moment by moment to ask the question of what sounds fun in this moment, what sounds fulfilling in this moment. And I'm always excited, and that's why I love doing the podcast that I do. It's called Enlightened Conversation. It's always with people that are already helping people, and it's just fun to play in these vibes. And all of you guys out there that are helping people right now in life, and I actually invited Jessica to be a guest on the podcast. Any of you guys that are helping people like day to day, like you're already impacting and uplifting, like I want to have a conversation with you individually, and we'll just flow some really fun, playful energy and let it go where it goes. So you guys are all invited, by the way, to collaborate with me in any way, shape, or form. But my point is, like, I want to live in a world where people have the light bulb on and are putting all of their attention and their energy into things that matter to them, into things that light them up, into things that they're passionate about. And that's when I see the world evolving rapidly. And so all that we had to do to create that, because it's actually easier than we think. We've had this illusion for so long that we're separate here as humans, where we forgot how we used to experience life, because none of us were in this human body around for it. Because I glanced down at the clock, I'm doing good on time right now. As I glance down on the clock, we weren't around for the days of like tribes, where if you think about how we used to live when we were in the tribe, everybody brought to the tribe, brought to the community what they could bring. So if you were someone that was really good at catching fish, you'd be out catching fish, enjoying that all day because you're excited to go back to the tribe with a bunch of fish so that we can eat. Or if you were someone if you were a little kid and all you could really do was go collect logs so that we have a fire so that we can be warm, then that is what you would do. You would go out there and you collect logs so that we can be warm and we can cook the food. If you were someone that was like a warrior and you weren't scared of the saber-tooth tigers, you're out there battling them and the other tribes. Like everybody had to play their role. If we had the individualistic mentality that we have as human beings in 2020, Not everybody, but that's just how we've lived ever since we started having land ownership, where it's like, this is mine, stay off or I'll kill you. Once we started with that mentality, things shifted for humanity, and it became more of an individualistic 7.7 billion humans all doing their own thing, which awesome to have our own life, missions and things that light us up and that we want to do. And at the same time, if we can bring the mentality of all of us have unique life experiences and all of us have things to add to the collective, and if we can bring those things together, what we can create together is something more valuable than any of us can create individually. Because you out there, even though you have the power of the entire universe at your fingertips, that's who you truly are, you're only flowing that through your unique life experience. So you have the life experiences that you have, so you have the perspective that you have the words that you use to describe all of these things that you have frequency that you're channeling, you're saying it in English or whatever language that you speak. And so I just find so much value in knowing that everybody has their own unique thing to share with the collective. And if we choose to bring that together, now we create something so valuable where it's like, okay, we have this valuable resource now. And we can do this online, by the way. And actually, I'm sharing with you guys something that actually exists on the planet. This is all I focus on as far as how can we create for humanity where the light bulb can be on and we can all be abundant and free. Where we can do what we want, when we want, anywhere in the world, total freedom with whoever we want to do it with. Like utopia. That's what that sounds like to me. When's the last time you guys have heard the word utopia used? Not used very often, is it? Like probably been a long time. And why don't we use that word? Because we don't think that it's something that can exist. But it really can exist in the moment, and really it starts with us being able to enjoy and embody and to be connected in this moment right here and now. It doesn't have to be this like external grandiose thing. However, anything external and grandiose that we want to see, the reason that we want to see it is because it's possible for all of us. And so any desire that we have, anything that we get excited about, you already have the power of God, of the universe, of all that is, like at your fingertips to create that thing. Like it's already in creation. Like the creation process has already begun as soon as you impress the thought and the idea on the formless, on the energy of all that is, which is who all of us truly are. And so any desire that you guys have out there, if you don't know this to be true yet, know it to be true now. You can have it. Like you can be, do, and have anything that you desire. All of us can. And so what I'm creating right now, and I'm inviting all of you guys to participate in, and I've actually created, I'll create a free like trial so you guys can just like experience. And if you get nothing more than the conscious uplift, like that means the world to me, because that's all that I care about for humans is that they have the light bulb on. What they choose to do with it then, whether they have tons of abundance flowing in all areas of life or not, that's going to be a personal decision. However, once the light bulb is on, we have all the means to go create whatever we want abundance-wise as well. But I just see a world right now where if we all just offer the things that we like have to offer, like even if it's you out there and maybe you're not inspired to write a book or be a coach or even share on social media, but maybe you're a parent or maybe you're someone that has a life experience. And if you think about it, that life experience is different than everybody else that they've had. But also you probably had more life experience doing a few things than all the rest of us have. Like I met someone last night and I said, what have you done more in life than you probably most of the other people? Like, what have you had the majority of your life experience? Like, what have you done a lot? And he said, well, I've been swimming since I was like 3. And I was a lifeguard and I love being out in the ocean and I love doing all that. Like they lit up. There was a passion point for them. And I was like, how you just described swimming, you have more life experience and more like awareness and consciousness when it comes to all the elements of swimming than probably 99% of the other humans on earth. Like I know how to swim, but I'm not like describing it like you're describing it. I don't know the things that you know. And I just use that as just a basic example, but every single one of you out there have elements of your life where that's the case with you as well. So what if you just recorded like one video? Like even if you didn't want to share anything anywhere, but you recorded one video on, say, for instance, like parenting. And you just said, these are the things that I've become aware of as a parent and what I know to be true and what's helped me in the process of parenting, children. And then that was just there. And then someone else that was a part of this collective that we're building decided one day, it's like, I bet there's other parents out there that have shared stuff. And they just type in parenting. And then they go there and not only are they have access to your video, which uplifted them, which makes the collective more valuable, but because we're doing it, you can go to YouTube and places right now and you can find information on everything. It's very simple to find information. One thing that I find not really as readily available is actually access to the human beings that are creating the information. So imagine you guys out there, every time you read a good book in your life, imagine you get the author on the phone and say, hey, on page 25, you said this, and I have this going on in my life right now, and I really love to know like what you meant by that. That book would be way more valuable, right? So it's the access level as well, the actual want to help people, not just the the information alone is awesome. That can turn the light bulb, on. But then what really embeds it, like what really gets it like deeply ingrained, is being able to run that through our own individual life experience. And which is why coaching, a lot of you guys are coaches or, have worked with coaches. That's why that's valuable, because you get to go deeper than just the surface information where, so all is great. Like anything that helps people like have any type of additional consciousness, I'm all for it. But my point is what we can all do right now, we have access to right now, and this is what I'm going to continue to create as long as I'm here on this earth, is just encouraging people to share, add to the collective, like the tribe, days. We can do it online, and we can also do it, offline at awesome events around the world. And I'm excited to collaborate and connect you guys with more events that we'll be doing as time goes and we can travel a little bit more and all this stuff. If I've collaborated with you once, there's a great chance that you'll get another inbox from me saying, hey, I got this going on over in the south of France. Do you want to like come speak and like be involved? Maybe you will, maybe you won't, if you're inspired to. I just want every human being to be able to make choices as far as where to spend their time and what to do with their time based off of, is it a desire for me? Not as it of the, do I have the time and the money to do it? Like that sucks. Like, doesn't it suck to ask a question and then have to ask the next question of, do I have the time and the money? Like that just seems like, why do we have to ask that? Like, why not just ask, am I inspired to go live this life experience? And if it's yes, then we go do it with no restriction, no limitation. And so it's easier than it sounds to do this. Like if I'm describing something right now that sounds like, far-fetched utopia, like that, how could this exist? It's actually really simple. We have so much technology to where we can connect. Like I have a community called Universal Abundance that the universe said, call Universal Abundance, because that's what you want for all. You want everybody in the universe to be abundant. And so it's just a collaboration of everybody that I've collaborated with, which has been several hundred people over the last few years, where, it's information, but also lots of access to where you can actually access these people without having to, if you want to go deeper and go live one-on-one coaching with them, it's available as well. Everybody's doing their individual missions, which is awesome. I'm just wanting to help us be able to help each other more as a collective and add value so that we can create something together that's so valuable that we can monetize it in a way to where even if you're the stay-at-home mom that doesn't want to write a book or coach or add anything where it's like, I can really charge a lot for this, even if you don't want to do that, you have contributed just by your energy and your participation in it to where now if you let the other stay-at-home mom knows that this exists, you've added to the collective as well because you've brought more energy to what we're creating. Now, the way that I view the world, you deserve just as much abundance financially and otherwise as the person that transmitted the information to begin with. Like you have to have a transmitter and a receiver in order for anything to, like if you're writing a book and all it is words on a page, but there's nobody to receive the words, how valuable really was the book? I mean, it's just words on a page. I mean, it's awesome, but you need people to receive it so that it creates the value that you're really intending to create. So my view on the world is everybody participate together and we give abundance, energy exchange to everyone involved. And if you guys want to see more about this, I'm not going to go into more specifics because I'm running out of time, but I just wanted to flow all this to you guys. You guys go to universalabundance.co/freedom. There's a free trial for you guys. Like I normally don't do free trial because I want people to be able to get right in and like you can flow lots of abundance to yourself. If you can tell by the way I speak, like it's designed only to create consciousness uplift of individuals, of the collective, and then to flow and create unlimited abundance. That's how it's designed. So whatever number that you would need coming in, I had this Akashic record lady, and I'll close up. She said she had a dream, and how awesome would this be? She said she had a dream last night before she spoke with me. I was like, this is so synchronistic that this was your dream because this is the way I see the world. But she had a dream that and this is possible, but this seems more far-fetched than what I'm creating, but it's awesome like how she described this. She said she had a dream that all the governments around the world came together and they decided that you'd be paid a couple $100s a day, every day. But your only requirement was to go live out your sole purpose, your full passion, like whatever lit you up. Like you were required to do that every day. And you were paid like what you needed to, like the number that she used, she says $100 a day. I was like, that's not enough for me. So I'm going to need more than having $200. I'm going to need more than that. Everybody has a different number that they would need coming in to feel totally free. And so for me, it's just like, we can create this right now. Like it's so simple to do. It's very difficult to do, though, if we all stay individuals and we just have 7.7 billion humans doing all their own thing. Awesome. Like people will get the consciousness uplift, but then they're still stuck right there where it's like, okay, now what do I do with this? And it's really tough because even if somebody knows that they can go create the bank account that they want to create, if right now they're looking at their Chase or Bank of America and what they see is empty, it's really tough to vibrate the frequency of what it is that you would like to see in that bank account. You can do it. We can all do it. It's just more challenging. So for me, I'm all about ease and flow and wanting to allow humans to have the light bulb come on and the ease of creating because it doesn't have to be so difficult. So um, if I was too vague with all this stuff, I just explained as much as I could. I just wanted to plant seeds with you guys. But you guys go to universalabundance.co/freedom. You'll see what I'm doing. I'm actually adding a brand new video that I just recorded yesterday. So what's there right now, that'll be changed in a couple of hours because I actually just uploaded it and I'm going to do some final stuff there to where you'll feel like my present moment, like what I'm feeling as far as the world and what's going on and how people can participate. So that's going to be there. But everybody's invited. You guys can participate for free. Go dive in. Lots of consciousness uplifts. And if you guys say, this is awesome, I want to help spread this, you'll bring as a result of that, not only lots of appreciation from other humans, we're like, thank you for sharing this with me because now my consciousness is being uplifted, but the abundance that will flow into you, whether it be whatever number that sounds like is fun for you, imagine that coming in every single month for the rest of your life without you going to put in any more time to doing anything that you don't feel like doing. Doing your sole purpose every single day because you want to, not because you have to. Like you're just living and we're just creating, and then the world evolves so rapidly from there. So right on the dot, I'm stopping even 1 minute early. I'm not even gonna take up my last minute. Appreciate all of you guys.
Thank you so much. I put the links in the chat. You guys can find Noel there. I get his emails and they always make me feel uplifted. We are here to raise consciousness, and I think that's really what we're all here. And Noel, we so appreciate you offering your gifts to us, and I'm so appreciative you coming on this summit, continuing to elevate life for yourself and others in the collective. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I love and appreciate all you guys. We're all in this together. We're all connected.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yeah.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
So I am going to introduce Dr. Lana. Dr. Lana has become a fast friend of mine originally through the carving community, but we have such alignment and we are looking forward to continuing to work together. Lana's a naturopathic doctor and an acupuncturist, and what I love about her practice, I've attended her master classes and other talks she's given, and she discusses her triad of health, but she really combines what science and conventional medicine with all the modalities in which she has expertise and addresses health and wellness on that level. So I'll just leave it at that and give Lana her time and take it away, Dr. Lana Butner.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I am sorry, you're on a swivel chair right now. I'm in a hotel room in Santa Fe, so I'm trying to figure out my positioning here. Okay, first off, I just wanted to say I'm so happy to be here and to listen to everybody. I'm taking so many notes. I'm not texting. I'm literally writing down snippets of what everybody's saying. So I love sharing with one another. I am going to share my screen now, and then we can get started. For those of you who have actually heard me speak before, this is a little bit, there's a little bit of the masterclass in there, but I'm basically going over the mental health aspect of everything. And the kind of the walkthrough of what we're going to be doing today is how to cultivate your cerebral sanctuary. So what I'm going to be talking about is what is stress, and not only what is stress, but where does it come from, and what is its effect on our body, and not only the effect on our body, but also the long-term effects, health effects, mental, emotional effects, physical effects, all of that, and then how do we manage it. But the most important thing is, now that we know what it is and what it does to us and how we can manage it, what can we do for ourselves? What are our take homes that we can even start their actionable steps today to better ourselves as well as those around us and our community as a whole? Just like what Noelle was saying with the conscious uplift, I absolutely love that. And just thinking about everything as a tribe. And the same thing that Jill was saying, I wrote this down, was that I'm not helpful if I am not on my own higher channel. And I loved that. And that resonated so much with me because that's basically what I'm going to be talking about with you guys.